and welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Jessie and I make mostly bullet journal content, some lifestyle stuff, and some bookish stuff. Today we're doing a bookish thing and I'm coming to you with my wrap up for January and my TBR for February, and there's quite a few books to talk about on this list, so I'm not going to go into much detail of my wrap up, but I can kind of give you, I will give you a summary of my TBR. So grab a drink, hot, cold, frosted, slush, alcoholic, non-alcoholic. We love all of them here. And a snack if you wish. Sit back and I hope you enjoy. So first on my list is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I have a vlog and a wrap up of me talking about how much I absolutely loved this book. Definitely already the first book of the year. Technically, I read this before the year started, but I finished it in this year. 5 out of 5 stars, already made my top 10 of the year. Next on the list we have Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. There is quite a lot of Leigh Bardugo in this wrap up because I reread the duology, but I also reread the original Grishaverse trilogy for Rule of Wolves when it comes out. So Six of Crows, 5 out of 5 stars, still loving it. I have no complaints. Okay, I could go on and on about this duology, but read Six of Crows, still 5 out of 5 stars for me. Next on my list, I read the Darkest Minds trilogy. But I really enjoyed the throwback, and I just love Alexandra Bracken's writing, so I read these this month. Then I read Crooked Kingdom, which, as I said, I read, and again, really enjoyed it. Not really going to get into it, but yeah, again, 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Siege and Storm, but I'm just going to hold up Shadow and Bone. I read Shadow and Bone in December, and I listened to all 3 on audio, and I really enjoyed it. I think I did read Shadow and Bone physically like a really long time ago, but I never really got into it. Whereas I feel like these audiobooks were very similar to me in like Crescent City. You can read it physically and it's good. You cry, you laugh, and that it is what it is. But when you listen to the audiobook, everything just comes to life. These characters now have like a voice and a sound and a personality. And yes, you get that while reading, but there's nothing like listening. And the narrator for all 3 of these did such an amazing job and loved it. Then I read ACOWAR. Just out of nowhere. I don't really have a reason of why I did it. I just looked at it one day and was like, maybe I'll pick you up, and I did. And again, it was wonderful. And again, there are tons of people who love Sarah J. Maas, and we stand for them, and then there are people who don't, and you want to know what? We stand for you too. Yes, there are issues. Yes, there are plot holes. Yes, this. Yes, that. But nobody cares about those. We love it, and I will not apologize for loving all of her books. So, overall, it was really great. Then I finished Ruin of Rising on audio, and again, I'm really not going to go over my thoughts. It was wonderful. I think I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I was a little disappointed at the ending. I really wanted more, but the way it ended wasn't terrible, so I liked it. But I kicked myself in the ass for not reading these for so long. I loved them. And that's all I have to say about it. So before I talk about this series, I'll let you know that I read Dark Lover last year, and then this month I read Lovers Eternal, Awakened, Revealed, Unbound, and Enshrined. There are going to be some spoilers. If you don't care, keep watching. If you do care, I'll leave spoiler on the screen. Once that goes away, you can resume listening. I loved pretty much every single one of these books except the last one that I read, Enshrined, Lovers Enshrined. I think a lot of really important things happened, but I wanted more of the conflict and the plot twist that we got in our last books to kind of like come forth in the coming books. Like Thor leaving and we got him back in Enshrined, which my heart was happy. John, all of the shit with John. Is he Darius? Is he not? I would love to know, is he actually the son of Darius? Or is he Darius? And the lady, the scribe virgin, said that Beth wouldn't remember him, or he wouldn't remember Beth. There was a pact in this book for Darius. And I just want to know, is John Matthews' terror Darius? I would love to know, okay? There are questions. Butch, like, I want more of what happened. How is he Wrath's? Who sired him? I would love to know. Also, Beth, we don't get much of her anymore. Mary, where the hell is Mary? Well, I mean, we did get her a little bit. But, I mean, like, I feel like, I mean, this book did, Enshrined did focus on Fury, so obviously Zadis and Bella are obviously going to be in there. But, I mean, like, Vicious? There was a huge plot twist that he had a fucking twin sister, and that doesn't come up till the end of Enshrined. Like, you can't just drop a bomb like that. And then I have so many questions for future books that I haven't read yet. Like, so do Vicious and his sister, I forget what her name is, do they fight Lash since Lash is the Omega's kid? Like, I have so many questions. I just, like, keep reading them and reading them and reading them, hoping for sustenance, but it just leaves me wanting more, leaves me with more questions that need answered. And at this point, I have like a 50-page essay of just asking questions. I want to know. Okay, I'm done with that little rant. If you don't know, I really freaking enjoy this series. J.R. Ward is a goddamn genius with her words, and we stand. And then last but not least, this month I listened, I mean, this is quite beautifully annotated, but I had never listened to the audiobook of a Throne of Glass novel. So I decided I was going to do that this month, and I listened to Kingdom of Ash, and I was not disappointed. I bawled my frickin' eyes out when the thing happens with with those women. I won't spoil that, but if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. And the goodbyes at the end, I was just like, oh, that's really sad. When I physically read it, I bawled when I listened. Oh my god, it was so good. So, the narrator that Sarah J. Maas has used for, I don't know, I haven't listened to the ones previous, I didn't even look at them to see who the narrator was, so I don't know if it's her. But I'm pretty sure the woman who narrated Kingdom of Ash also did Crescent City, and she is amazing. She's an amazing narrator. She did such an amazing job. And with so many characters in Kingdom of Ash, like, she did so good depicting every single one of them and them being completely different from each other. So, It was wonderful. I had a great time listening to it. 10 out of 10. We ain't even on the 5-star rating, okay? 10 out of 10. It was great. Okay, now that that's over, this is going to be a long video. We're going to get into my TBR. I'm just going to give really quick introductions, maybe give like a spit or two about each book and then move on, because I don't want this to be too long. So first, I have the audiobook of The Broken Eye by Brent Weeks. I started listening to these on audio last year and I got through the first two, and I'm pretty much halfway through this one now. But I mostly listen to them when I'm walking my dog. That got put on hold a little bit with my rereads and things like that I listen to. So there's this. And just as a little snippet, this world that Brent Weeks has created is so great. We have the prism, and in the magic system in this world is through light. So you can create things dependent on the color of light you have. The prism has all the colors. He is the most powerful. He had to battle his brother. Some things happen. Some love happens. A lost child comes to play. And I'm so excited to continue with this. Then we have Revenge by Lexi Blake. I know literally nothing to this except there's a love, hate, or revenge story going on here. This is an adult romance novel. I'm excited to read this. I've heard a lot of good things about Lexi Blake's writing, so I'm intrigued to see if I like her writing style. Then we have a reread for me. I reread this every year, and this is Embrace, and this is part of the Embrace series by Jessica Shiverington. I absolutely love this book. This is a very tropey book. There's a love triangle. There's a girl who didn't know she was part of this world that is separate from the human world, has to weave her way through this world. Very early 2000s YA, but I am trash for it. I absolutely love the characters. They're very relatable. I really love it. I have nothing else to say. Then I want to read The Triumphant by Leslie Livingston. I have read The Valiant and The Defiant. Have not picked this up yet. I hope to this month. I am a sucker for Roman time. I'm a sucker for mythology, Roman and Greek. I am a sucker for all of it. When I first read The Valiant, it reminded me of Girl in the Arena, which I read a really long time ago and loved. So I picked that up. I've been super excited to read this. I picked this up, I think summer of last year when it first came out. I was super excited. Haven't read it yet because there are just other things that have come out. So I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to read it, and I'm excited to read it. Then we have King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is the last book that I have to read before Rule of Wolves come out, and I'm super excited. I love me some Nikolai, and I'm super happy that we got more of his story because I freaking loved him in the Grishaverse. So I'm super stoked to read more about him. He deserves it. He deserves it.
Hey guys, this is Editing Jessie from the future. I don't know how I missed this. I think I was just so caught up in like the physical books that I had. But it's February and A Court of Silver Flame comes out. Yes, I will be reading it as soon as I can get my hands on it. So that is also on this list. And now you can go back to our regular programming.
And then last but not least, I have Susan Dennard's Truth Witch. The Witchland series I'd like to reread. I have to pick up Blood Witch, but I've read everything except Sight Witch, but I do want to go back and reread because I do feel like I've lost some of the story in my brain before Witch Shadow comes out, so I really want to reread these. And the rest of the Brotherhood by J.R. Ward. I want to read the rest of her books up to date in that series. I think she has other series too. I know she has other series, but I'd like to finish that as well. So guys, that is all the books I have to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one. I'm going to try and edit down as much as possible. But I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.